Hey there, my name's Megan McVeigh, and I'm going to be walking you through the work that I've done on the mobile app Immerso, which is an app that is meant to help users learn new vocabulary. All right, so to start things off, who exactly is our target audience? In this case, it's Brooke Jacobs. She's an advanced speaker who frequently travels and is in need of a language tool that can help her practice what she wants to learn when she wants to learn it. The goals, she wants it to be easy. She needs to have visuals. She wants the ability to personalize the app. She wants a variety of ways to be quizzed and tested. She wants to have lessons in bite-sized chunks, and she learns better when she can have videos of native speakers. So again, just in terms of our overall problem, Brooke needs a tool to help her learn and practice more advanced sentence structures because she's communicating with native speakers at stakeholder meetings. In terms of laying out the general situation, Brooke is speaking with locals for her job, so she doesn't want to feel stupid. She needs to be able to practice more advanced sentence structures to be able to communicate more effectively. She is studying a language, and she likes to be tested in different ways so that she can retain the information better. She's traveling abroad, so she needs a way to be able to study when she's not near Wi-Fi. She's on the move, so having lessons that are more bite-sized, so that she can fit it in when she's, on metro or in a taxi. And she also studies alone, so she needs a way to be able to feel motivated and interested as she's studying. A quick look at the challenges. Again, because she's an advanced speaker, she wants the ability to customize what she's learning. She doesn't want to just move through a linear fashion. She likes being able to pick and choose what she wants to focus on. She doesn't like regurgitation. She really wants to be able to have ways that she can learn more nuances of a language. Again, smaller batches of word, being able to study while she's offline and on the go, having visuals so that she can create mental connections with the words better, and also having a way that she can interact with others to stay motivated. Now, to go through the initial prototype, this is just a snapshot of the main menu of Immerso. And as you can see, there's 4 basic ways that a user can study. Starting on the left with screen 1, you can take a lesson, which is a little bit more linear. You could read, which is screen number 2. So you can get practice being able to read articles in your language of choice. If you look over to screen number 6, that's listening. So you can learn through being able to hear different types of podcasts and pop music in an international language. And then the 4th way of learning is flashcards. So that's screen number 7. And then the bottom screens 3, 4, and 5 are essentially just the main nav pages. So to recap once again, there's 4 different ways to review vocabulary in the app Immerso. This is just a quick snapshot of the flashcard flow. As you can see, you can take a quiz, you can get quiz results. If we go to a lesson, you can actually take a lesson, watch videos, be tested in multiple ways. So there's things like matching and spelling and audio, video, and then also being able to take a quiz and get results. The 3rd way of being able to be tested is listening. And again, you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to music, and then afterwards you can share the particular audio file or you can rate it. And then the final way, like I had mentioned, was being able to read. So being able to select articles, read articles, take a quiz on the article, and also being able to, share or rate with friends. All right. So now that we kind of see generally what this app can do for a user, the next step was to be able to put it into practice. So the 6 things that I wanted to test had to do with each of the types of learning. Can they take a quiz? Can they actually listen to a podcast? Can they add things to flashcards? Can they update their profile? What I would think would be pretty standard tasks, but that was the fun, was to see, could people actually be able to do these things, which I thought were simple, but may not be as simple. So to test the first task, take a flashcard quiz. As you can see on the left, the original prototype screen had a lot of graphics. It had 3 different buttons, do you know this? Do you don't know it? Are you unsure? And these were all things that I had received feedback on during my initial interviews with my target audience. So this was the page that I had tried, or the screen that I had tried to create based off of that input. And as you can see, after testing this, the screen on the right is a lot more simplified, took out the button, took out the unsure button because enough users were like, that doesn't, I don't get it. And then also being able to have more drop-down menus instead of having all the graphics and clues available at once, because it became confusing what to press first. Like, what do you want me to do when you get to this page? So that was one example of creating an improvement for the quiz. Another improvement on the podcast page was being able to simplify the buttons and also removing a download button, because in other apps that have podcasts, that's necessary. Like, you have to do that anyways before you listen to a podcast. So it was kind of duplicative to have a button for it as well. Now, the third task was to add a photo to a flashcard. And as you can see, the original prototype screen all the way on the left, again, had a lot of different options that the user could click on. And during testing, it became really clear that this was just too much for a user. So being able to pare things down, as you can see on the 2 screens to the right, there's the middle screen doesn't actually show the drop down, so that's why the screen on the right actually shows the multimedia drop down menu. But being able to use buttons and making the calls to action very obvious, and having labels to overcome this like overload of visuals. The fourth task was to update a profile, and in this case, it's simply the thing I learned from the testing was not to have the proficiency level actually on the profile page. More people went to the settings page to be able to change this level. So it's just a matter of being able to switch that setting to a different screen. The fifth task was to upload a new vocab word. And as you can see, similarly, just being able to pare down the screen so there weren't as many icons that were available, and also taking away the nav icons at the top of the screen, and being able to just replace them with really obvious buttons towards the bottom of the screen. The sixth task was to take a quiz. And for the most part, users really were able to navigate this, but enough of them went to this little icon that was supposed to be representative of a questions chapter. So it was going to be a lesson about how to, formulate questions. But unfortunately, enough people saw that icon and thought that it meant that's where you took a quiz. So to fix that, being able to take out that icon so that it didn't confuse people, that was actually the quiz spot. It was like, no, the quiz is what you do after you take the lesson. So the testing was really fun, and I learned a lot. In terms of next steps, obviously I would go back and do more usability testing on more of the attributes of the app that I didn't necessarily get to focus on, such as the reading section. And then you just iterate. So you got to revise and refine the design based off of your feedback. Then be able to create a medium fidelity prototype, so giving it a few more graphics, making it clickable, making it more like what the actual product would look like. And then again, go back and test, revise, refine, and then finally being able to create a high fidelity prototype to really be able to test out, what are the icons, what are the colors, are people able to deal with the user interface design. And then, lastly, in terms of lessons learned, I really enjoyed being able to create something that had never been created before. That was really exhilarating. And it was awesome to get feedback on things that I thought would be helpful, and then to actually see people really find them helpful. Users really liked customization, and that was one of the main points, was to have an app that allowed people to learn in the ways that they want to learn. So not just regurgitation or lessons, but being able to make your own flashcards, or if you want to listen to music or read an article, if you're a more advanced speaker. And then number 3 was being able to make it easy so that users could get to the heart of what your app was and what it could offer very quickly. And my users were able to do that. So that really helped me, feel more confident about what I was doing. In terms of the three things that I learned that I would like to improve on, again, just really simplifying those screens. If you make the call to actions really obvious, don't have as many like graphics necessarily available right away. Don't try to do too much. Again, it was exciting to have an app and have all these ideas that you want to keep on tacking on, but just remembering that you have limited time, limited budget, and you really got to drill down on who your target audience is. And then lastly, being able to use labels. Don't worry about it being too. I think initially I was worried that it would be too messy and it would just be too much, but it actually really helped navigators more clearly determine where they need to go and what they need to do and taking the guesswork out. So that is a summation of what I learned, and thanks for listening.